Chapter 64. A Test of Leadership. The weight of the emerging threat pressed heavily on Mara and Kale, casting a long shadow over their recent successes. The atmosphere, once filled with the joy and satisfaction of their triumphs, had shifted dramatically. What had been a time of celebration and optimism was now overshadowed by an urgent, palpable tension that pervaded every aspect of their lives. The crisis they faced was no longer a distant concern. It had become an immediate and formidable presence, demanding their full attention and unyielding resolve. In the face of this looming danger, Mara and Kale found themselves at the center of a whirlwind of activity. The threat had infiltrated their daily routines, transforming their governance into a high-stakes endeavor. Every decision they made, every strategy they formulated, was now scrutinized through the lens of the looming threat. The weight of responsibility was immense, as they were called upon to navigate a complex and evolving crisis that threatened the stability of their realms and the delicate balance they had worked so hard to achieve. The challenge was not just in the scale of the threat, but in its pervasive nature. It affected every facet of their leadership, from diplomatic relations to internal management. Mara and Kale had to contend with disruptions that threatened their economic stability, an internal dissent that was fueled by the growing uncertainty. The threat had a way of magnifying every existing problem, forcing them to address issues they might have otherwise been able to manage more easily. Their strategic acumen was tested as they sought to mitigate the immediate impacts while preparing for potential long-term consequences. The daily demands of the crisis were relentless, leaving little room for respite. Mara and Kale found themselves immersed in a constant state of vigilance, with each new development adding to the complexity of the situation. The threat was not a singular, easily identifiable problem, but a multifaceted challenge that required a nuanced and adaptable response. Their leadership was under constant pressure, as they needed to balance immediate needs with the broader strategic goals of preserving their alliance and ensuring the continued stability of their kingdoms. As they grappled with these challenges, Mara and Kale also had to manage their personal stakes in the crisis. The stress of the situation took its toll on their relationship, testing their ability to communicate effectively and support each other. Despite the strain, their bond remained a critical source of strength. They leaned on each other for support and guidance, finding solace in their shared commitment to their realms and their mutual goals. Their ability to work through personal disagreements and maintain a united front was essential to navigating the crisis effectively. The threat's impact on their governance was profound. Every policy decision and diplomatic negotiation had to be weighed against the backdrop of the emerging crisis. Mara and Kale had to remain flexible and responsive, adapting their strategies as new information and challenges arose. The weight of their responsibilities was immense, but their determination to address the threat and preserve their hard-won peace drove them forward. They approached each problem with a mix of strategic insight and practical solutions, seeking to mitigate the immediate impacts while safeguarding their long-term objectives. The crisis also brought to light the vulnerabilities within their systems and alliances. It exposed weaknesses that had been previously overlooked or underestimated. Mara and Kale had to address these vulnerabilities while strengthening their defenses and reinforcing their diplomatic ties. Their leadership was put to the test as they worked to ensure that their response did not exacerbate existing tensions or create new conflicts. The challenge was to navigate the crisis without compromising the fragile stability they had achieved. As they continued to confront the emerging threat, Mara and Kale remained focused on their ultimate goal, securing the future of their realms and their alliance. The weight of the situation was heavy, but their commitment to their shared vision and their resolve to overcome the crisis kept them moving forward. The coming days would require every bit of their strength, ingenuity, and leadership as they worked to protect their kingdoms and ensure that their hard-earned peace would endure. Mara and Kale convened an urgent council meeting with their most trusted advisors, marking a significant departure from the lively and hopeful discussions of previous gatherings. The Grand Council Chamber, typically a space of vibrant exchange and strategic planning, now resonated with a somber tone. The usual clamor of voices was replaced by an uneasy silence, the weight of the situation casting a pall over the proceedings. Maps, reports, and intelligence briefings were meticulously spread out on the large table in the center of the room, each document highlighting the gravity and complexity of the emerging threat. As Mara's gaze swept across the faces of her advisors, she could see the concern and worry etched into their expressions. The familiar faces she had come to trust and rely upon were now marked by the tension of uncertainty. The usual confidence that characterized their interactions was replaced by a shared sense of urgency. Each advisor, skilled and experienced in their own right, understood the severity of the situation and the critical nature of the decisions that lay ahead. Kale mirrored Mara's observations, his own seriousness reflecting the gravity of their discussion. His eyes moved from advisor to advisor, assessing their reactions and gauging their readiness for the difficult choices they would need to make. The once familiar dynamics of their council meetings had shifted. Now, the room felt charged with an intensity that demanded precise and decisive action. The usual banter and camaraderie were replaced by a focused and determined atmosphere, underscoring the importance of their task. The reports laid out before them painted a stark picture of the current situation. Each document detailed incidents of sabotage, unrest, and internal dissent that had emerged in recent weeks. The maps showed disruptions along critical trade routes and areas where the threat seemed to be most active. The data compiled over days of investigation revealed a coordinated effort to undermine their hard-won peace, complicating their efforts to maintain stability. The advisors began to speak, their voices carrying a mix of concern and determination. Each presented their analysis of the data, offering insights into the nature of the threat and potential strategies for addressing it. The discussion was intense and focused, with advisors debating the best course of action and proposing solutions to mitigate the immediate impacts. Every suggestion was weighed carefully, as Mara and Kale understood that the right decisions were crucial for navigating the crisis. Mara, though deeply concerned, remained resolute in her leadership. She asked probing questions, seeking clarity and ensuring that all perspectives were considered. Her ability to remain calm and composed under pressure was a source of strength for the Council. She understood that their response needed to be both strategic and adaptable, and she was determined to lead them through the complexity of the situation with a clear vision. Kale, too, played a pivotal role in guiding the discussion. His strategic acumen and experience in dealing with high-stakes negotiations were crucial as he helped to synthesize the various viewpoints and craft a coherent plan. He was attentive to the details, balancing the need for immediate action with the importance of maintaining long-term stability. His presence provided a steadying influence, helping to keep the Council focused on their shared goals. As the meeting drew to a close, Mara and Kale faced the daunting task of implementing the strategies and decisions that had been discussed. The sense of urgency was palpable, and the weight of their responsibilities felt heavier than ever. They knew that the path forward would be challenging, requiring both their leadership and the collective effort of their advisors. With a renewed sense of determination, they prepared to confront the threat head-on, fully aware that the future of their kingdoms depended on their ability to navigate this critical moment with skill and resolve. The strategy sessions that Mara and Kale engaged in were intense and fraught with tension, reflecting the severity of the crisis they faced. Each meeting was a crucible of decision-making, where every choice had to be weighed against the potential consequences for their realms. The atmosphere in the council chamber was thick with anticipation and anxiety as they grappled with the multiple fronts they needed to address. Securing their trade routes, managing internal dissent, and countering the covert organization threatening their alliance all demanded their immediate and undivided attention. Mara and Kale found themselves navigating a complex web of issues that seemed to intertwine with each other, complicating their efforts. The disruptions to their trade routes had not only caused economic strain, but also sparked fears among their citizens and allies. Ensuring the safe passage of essential supplies required a strategic overhaul, with increased security measures and diplomatic negotiations aimed at restoring confidence in their trade agreements. Every plan they devised had to be robust enough to withstand the evolving threats while minimizing disruption to their kingdoms. In parallel to the logistical and economic challenges, internal dissent within their kingdoms became a significant concern. Factions and influential figures who had previously been aligned with their vision were now expressing doubts and grievances. The discontent was exacerbated by the ongoing crisis, with some questioning the efficacy of their leadership and the stability of their reforms. Mara and Kale needed to address these concerns diplomatically, reinforcing their leadership while seeking to unify their people around a common cause. The task required not only political maneuvering but also a genuine engagement with the concerns of their subjects. The covert organization undermining their alliance represented a particularly insidious threat. Mara and Kale discovered that this group was composed of individuals with deep-seated grievances and complex motivations, making their actions unpredictable and dangerous. Unraveling the connections within this organization required meticulous intelligence gathering and strategic countermeasures. The challenge was to disrupt their operations without exacerbating the existing tensions or alienating potential allies. The covert nature of the threat made it all the more difficult to confront directly, requiring a delicate balance of aggression and restraint. Every decision Mara and Kale made was fraught with far-reaching implications, adding layers of complexity to their strategy sessions. They had to consider how each choice would affect not only their immediate objectives but also the long-term stability of their kingdoms and the broader alliance. The stakes were incredibly high, with the future of their realms hanging in the balance. Each proposed action was scrutinized for its potential to either reinforce or undermine their position, and the weight of these decisions bore heavily on their shoulders. The intensity of the situation brought its own challenges, as the constant pressure tested their ability to maintain clarity and focus. The need for quick decisions often clashed with the necessity for careful deliberation, creating a tension between expediency and thoroughness. Mara and Kale had to rely on their strategic instincts and the insights of their trusted advisors to navigate this difficult terrain. Balancing the urgent need for action with the importance of thoughtful planning was a critical aspect of their leadership during this crisis. As they worked through these complex issues, Mara and Kale also had to maintain their unity and collaboration. The strain of the situation tested their partnership, but it also underscored the strength of their bond. Their shared commitment to their kingdoms and to each other provided a foundation of stability and support as they faced the challenges ahead. Despite the pressure and the difficult choices, their mutual respect and understanding helped to guide them through the tumultuous period. In the end, the strategy sessions proved to be both a trial and a testament to their leadership. The decisions they made during this time would have lasting effects on their kingdoms and their alliance. The intensity of the situation highlighted the gravity of their roles as rulers and the importance of their strategic acumen. With every challenge they overcame, Mara and Kale grew more resolute in their commitment to safeguarding their realms and preserving the peace they had fought so hard to achieve. In the midst of the chaos, Mara and Kale found themselves grappling with mounting pressure from their respective realms. The leaders and influential figures within their courts, previously supportive of their vision, now demanded swift resolutions and clear actions. The urgency of the situation was palpable, with many feeling that the delays in addressing the crisis had only compounded the problem. This intense scrutiny was not merely a reaction to the external threats, but also a reflection of growing frustrations and concerns about the effectiveness of their leadership. The simmering internal dissent began to escalate as fear and uncertainty took hold among the populace and the nobility alike. The disruptions to trade routes and the covert attacks had stirred anxieties about the future, with many questioning whether the current administration was capable of ensuring their safety and prosperity. Mara and Kale faced the daunting task of managing these heightened tensions while attempting to provide reassurance and maintain order within their courts. Their ability to navigate these internal conflicts was as crucial as their efforts to address the external threats. Mara and Kale's leadership was under constant scrutiny, with every decision and action dissected and debated by their advisors and subjects. The pressure to deliver results quickly was immense, and the stakes were high. Their responses to the crisis were being evaluated not only for their effectiveness but also for their ability to inspire confidence and stability. The constant challenge of balancing the demands for immediate action with the need for thoughtful, strategic responses tested their resolve and leadership skills. In addition to external threats and internal dissent, Mara and Kale had to manage the expectations and pressures from their own factions. Supportive allies within their courts began to voice their concerns more openly, stressing the need for decisive leadership to counter the growing chaos. This added layer of complexity required Mara and Kale to not only address the crisis but also to navigate the delicate politics of their own realms, ensuring that their responses aligned with both their strategic goals and the needs of their subjects. The burden of leadership during this period was particularly heavy, as Mara and Kale worked tirelessly to keep the peace within their own courts. They engaged in frequent consultations with their advisors, sought to quell rumors and misinformation, and attempted to foster a sense of unity and purpose among their people. The challenge was not only to manage the immediate crisis but also to maintain morale and trust in their leadership, ensuring that their realms remained cohesive and resilient in the face of adversity. Despite their best efforts, the external threat and internal discord often seemed to be at odds with each other, complicating their efforts to find a comprehensive solution. Mara and Kale had to navigate this challenging landscape with care, making decisions that would address both the immediate threats and the long-term stability of their kingdoms. The complexity of the situation demanded a nuanced approach, blending strategic action with diplomatic finesse and emotional intelligence. Amid the turmoil, Mara and Kale's relationship with each other became a crucial source of strength. The strain of their leadership responsibilities tested their partnership, but it also highlighted the depth of their bond. They relied on each other for support and perspective, finding solace in their shared commitment to their realms and to one another. Their ability to lean on each other during these challenging times helped them to remain focused and united in their efforts to overcome the crisis. Ultimately, the period of intense pressure and scrutiny served as a critical test of Mara and Kale's leadership. The way they managed the crisis, addressed internal dissent, and confronted external threats would shape the future of their realms and their legacy as rulers. Their resilience, adaptability, and dedication to their people were continually put to the test, but their unwavering commitment to their shared goals and their capacity to navigate the complexities of the situation underscored the strength of their leadership and their partnership. Despite the mounting pressure, Mara and Kale's bond remained a steadfast source of strength throughout the crisis. The challenges they faced only seemed to strengthen their connection, providing a solid foundation in the midst of the turmoil. Their shared vision for their realms and their unwavering commitment to each other were crucial in maintaining a sense of stability and direction. The intensity of the situation served to reaffirm the depth of their relationship, showcasing how their unity was not merely a political alliance, but a deeply personal and emotional connection. In the face of adversity, they leaned on each other for support, drawing strength from their partnership. Their late nights, spent in intense strategy discussions, became a testament to their dedication and teamwork. Each challenge they encountered was met with a collaborative spirit, where both Mara and Kale contributed their unique strengths and perspectives. Their mutual support was a vital component in navigating the complexities of the crisis, as they tackled each problem with a shared resolve and a deep understanding of one another's capabilities. As they worked together, their partnership deepened, reflecting a bond forged through trials and shared experiences. The frequent, high-pressure discussions allowed them to explore and reinforce their mutual respect and trust. The way they communicated and cooperated in addressing the crisis highlighted the strength of their relationship. They became increasingly attuned to each other's needs and concerns, finding solace and encouragement in their unity. This growing intimacy not only helped them manage the immediate crisis but also strengthened their long-term commitment to each other and their realms. Their nights were often spent poring over maps and reports, devising strategies and weighing options. The stress and exhaustion of the crisis were countered by the unwavering support they provided each other. Each discussion, though intense, was also an opportunity to reaffirm their shared goals and dedication. Their ability to collaborate effectively under such pressure underscored the strength of their bond and their determination to see their mission through to success. The challenges they faced also served to highlight the ways in which their partnership had evolved. What began as a union based on mutual respect and strategic necessity had grown into a deeply personal connection. Their ability to navigate the complexities of the crisis with empathy and understanding was a direct result of the profound respect and trust they had developed for one another. This evolving relationship became a cornerstone of their leadership, reinforcing their capacity to face adversity together. Through every hurdle and setback, their bond remained a source of stability and encouragement. The crisis tested their limits, but it also showcased their resilience and dedication. The late nights spent strategizing and problem-solving were not just about managing the crisis, but also about reaffirming their commitment to each other. Their partnership proved to be a crucial asset in overcoming the difficulties they encountered, providing both emotional and strategic support. The growing respect and understanding between Mara and Kale were evident in their interactions and decision-making. They were able to navigate the complexities of the crisis with a unified front, demonstrating the strength of their relationship. Their ability to approach each challenge with a shared sense of purpose and mutual respect was instrumental in maintaining their effectiveness as leaders. This deepening bond not only helped them address the immediate issues but also laid a strong foundation for future collaboration. Ultimately, the crisis highlighted the depth of Mara and Kale's connection and the strength of their partnership. The way they faced the challenges together, supporting each other through every trial, underscored the importance of their relationship and their leadership. Their bond, tested by adversity, emerged stronger, reinforcing their shared vision and commitment. As they navigated the complexities of the situation, their unity became a symbol of hope and resilience, guiding them through the turmoil and toward a more secure future. As the days turned into weeks, Mara and Kale's leadership was subjected to relentless scrutiny. The ongoing crisis demanded more than just tactical skill. It required a steady hand capable of inspiring confidence and maintaining unity among their people. The pressure was immense as they navigated the shifting dynamics of both internal and external challenges. Their ability to uphold their vision while addressing the immediate threats became crucial to preserving the fragile peace they had worked so hard to establish. Every decision they made was scrutinized for its impact on the immediate situation and its implications for the long-term stability of their alliance. Each negotiation carried the weight of not only resolving the current crisis but also reinforcing the foundations of their partnership. Mara and Kale had to ensure that their actions resonated with their people, demonstrating a commitment to both the present challenges and the future security of their kingdoms. Their leadership was tested at every turn, requiring them to balance short-term needs with long-term goals. The growing threat necessitated a dynamic and adaptable approach to leadership. Mara and Kale were forced to rethink their strategies continuously, adapting to new information and shifting circumstances. The crisis was not static, it evolved, presenting new obstacles and requiring innovative solutions. Their ability to remain flexible and responsive in the face of these changes was a testament to their leadership capabilities. It was clear that their roles extended beyond mere crisis management. They were guiding their kingdoms through one of the most tumultuous periods in their shared history. In addition to the external challenges, Mara and Kale faced significant internal pressures. They had to keep their people motivated and aligned with their vision, while managing the internal dissent that the crisis had exacerbated. The demands of leadership went beyond the strategic and tactical. They also involved maintaining morale and unity within their own courts and among their citizens. Their effectiveness as leaders was measured by their ability to address these diverse concerns while remaining focused on their overarching goals. Throughout this period, Mara and Kale's leadership was characterized by a blend of strength and empathy. They had to project confidence and decisiveness while also being attuned to the fears and uncertainties of their people. The ability to convey a sense of stability and direction amid chaos was crucial in preserving the trust and support of their realms. Their actions were carefully calibrated to address immediate threats while also fostering a sense of security and hope for the future. The evolving nature of the crisis required Mara and Kale to continually reassess their strategies and adapt their approaches. They were faced with a series of decisions that tested their judgment and resilience. Each choice had far-reaching consequences, influencing not only the current situation but also the long-term trajectory of their alliance. Their leadership was not just about responding to immediate threats but also about shaping the future course of their kingdoms. As the weeks wore on, the strain on their leadership became increasingly apparent. The weight of their responsibilities was heavy, and the challenges they faced were formidable. However, Mara and Kale's commitment to their shared goals and their ability to adapt and evolve were evident in their every action. Their leadership was marked by a deep understanding of the complexities of the crisis and a determination to guide their kingdoms through this difficult period. Ultimately, the crisis served as a defining moment for Mara and Kale's leadership. It was a test of their ability to manage a multifaceted and evolving situation while maintaining their commitment to both their immediate objectives and the long-term stability of their alliance. Their performance during this challenging time demonstrated that their leadership was not merely about navigating a crisis but about steering their kingdoms through one of the most critical periods in their history with strength, adaptability, and vision. Through it all, Mara and Kale remained steadfast, their resolve unshaken by the escalating crisis that threatened their hard-earned peace. The turbulence they faced became a crucible that tested their leadership, forging their bond into something even stronger. Their commitment to their kingdoms and to each other proved to be a source of resilience amidst the chaos. Each challenge they overcame only solidified their roles as not just rulers but as embodiments of strength and perseverance. Their leadership was forged in the fires of adversity, shaped by the intense pressures and multifaceted challenges they encountered. Mara and Kale faced the new threat with a blend of strategic acumen and personal dedication that set them apart. The way they navigated the complexities of the situation, balancing external dangers with internal unrest, showcased their capacity to lead under duress. Their actions during this period demonstrated a depth of character and a commitment to their shared vision that inspired confidence and hope among their people. As they confronted the emerging threat and worked to address its far-reaching implications, Mara and Kale's leadership became a beacon of stability. They managed to steer their kingdoms toward a semblance of equilibrium, even as they dealt with the disruptions and discontent that had arisen. Their ability to maintain focus and direction in such trying times was a testament to their unwavering dedication to the welfare of their realms. They proved themselves to be not just reactive leaders but proactive visionaries who could shape their kingdom's destinies even in the face of adversity. The crisis, while challenging, also served as a defining moment for their leadership. It was a period that highlighted their ability to adapt and respond to unexpected threats while maintaining their core values and principles. Mara and Kale's approach to the crisis demonstrated their growth as leaders and partners, reinforcing their capacity to manage complex situations with grace and effectiveness. Their response to the crisis became a powerful example of their leadership prowess and their commitment to their kingdom's well-being. Emerging from the crisis, Mara and Kale were more than just rulers. They became symbols of resilience and hope for their people. Their shared journey through adversity had not only tested their leadership, but also reinforced their connection and their mutual respect. They emerged from the ordeal with a deeper understanding of their roles and a renewed commitment to their partnership. The strength they displayed in overcoming the crisis resonated deeply with their subjects, who saw in them a source of inspiration and stability. The chapter of this crisis was a profound test of their leadership and character. It challenged them in ways they had not anticipated, pushing them to their limits and beyond. However, the way they navigated this period with courage and unity set a high standard for their future endeavors. The crisis became a pivotal moment in their shared history, defining their leadership and shaping their approach to the challenges that lay ahead. As they moved forward, the experience of the crisis provided them with valuable insights and lessons that would guide their continued journey together. They had demonstrated their ability to handle complex and high-pressure situations, reinforcing their role as effective leaders. The crisis had tested their resolve, but it had also prepared them for the future, equipping them with the knowledge and experience needed to face new challenges with confidence. With the crisis behind them, Mara and Kale looked ahead to their continued journey with a renewed sense of purpose. The challenges they had overcome together had strengthened their bond and affirmed their commitment to each other and their kingdoms. The road ahead would undoubtedly bring new obstacles, but their experience had shown them that their partnership was capable of withstanding even the most daunting trials. Their journey was far from over, but they faced the future with the assurance that they could overcome whatever came their way, together. Chapter 65: A Strategic Alliance. The gravity of the threat looming over their kingdoms prompted Mara and Kale to reassess their strategic approach. The urgency of the situation revealed the limitations of their current alliances and the vulnerabilities in their defenses. The menace that had emerged was more formidable than they had initially anticipated, exposing gaps in their security and the need for a more robust coalition. It became evident that maintaining the hard-earned stability and safeguarding their realms required a more extensive network of allies. To address this challenge, Mara and Kale embarked on a diplomatic mission to forge new alliances beyond their existing partnerships. They understood that the evolving threat necessitated a broader coalition to effectively counter it. Their approach involved reaching out to neighboring realms and distant powers with whom they had previously had limited interactions. This strategic expansion aimed not only to enhance their defensive capabilities but also to bolster their political influence and ensure a united front against the looming danger. Their efforts to build a wider network of allies were characterized by careful negotiation and strategic planning. Mara and Kale meticulously crafted their diplomatic overtures, focusing on realms that could offer significant support or resources. They sought to align with those who shared common interests or faced similar threats, creating a coalition that could provide both military and logistical support. This required navigating a complex landscape of political relationships, balancing the interests of diverse entities while forging agreements that would strengthen their collective security. As they pursued these new alliances, Mara and Kale encountered a range of reactions from potential partners. Some realms were receptive and eager to join forces, recognizing the mutual benefits of a strengthened coalition. Others were more hesitant, requiring persuasive arguments and assurances of mutual benefit. The process of convincing these new allies involved addressing their concerns, negotiating terms that were acceptable to all parties, and demonstrating the strategic advantages of joining the coalition. Throughout this process, Mara and Kael remained focused on their ultimate goal, securing the stability of their kingdoms and effectively countering the growing threat. Their diplomatic efforts were driven by a clear understanding of the stakes involved and the need for a united and capable alliance. The expanding network of allies was not merely a tactical maneuver but a crucial step in ensuring that their realms remained protected and that the peace they had worked so hard to achieve was preserved. The formation of this broader coalition was a testament to Mara and Kael's leadership and diplomatic skill. Their ability to forge new alliances and strengthen their position in the face of adversity demonstrated their commitment to their kingdoms and their strategic foresight. The expanded network of allies provided a renewed sense of security and bolstered their ability to address the emerging threat effectively. With the new alliances in place, Mara and Kael prepared to face the threat with a reinforced coalition. The expanded network of allies not only enhanced their defensive capabilities, but also provided additional resources and support. This strategic expansion was a critical component of their broader strategy to protect their realms and ensure the stability they had fought so hard to achieve. As they moved forward, Mara and Kael were confident that their united front, supported by their new allies, would enable them to confront the challenge and secure a safer future for their kingdoms. Mara and Kael initiated their quest for new alliances by reaching out to neighboring realms and influential figures who had previously maintained a stance of neutrality or distance. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, they understood that these potential allies could play a crucial role in fortifying their position against the looming threat. Their diplomatic strategy involved a series of carefully orchestrated covert meetings and strategic negotiations aimed at convincing these entities of the mutual benefits of joining forces. Each potential ally brought a unique set of interests and concerns to the table, necessitating a highly tailored approach from Mara and Kael. They meticulously studied the political landscape and individual motivations of each realm or figure, crafting proposals that addressed specific needs and offered compelling incentives. This precision and care were essential in persuading these previously distant entities to consider the value of collaboration and alignment with their coalition. The negotiation process was intricate and often challenging, requiring Mara and Kael to navigate a complex web of political relationships and historical contexts. They engaged in detailed discussions, presenting well-reasoned arguments and potential benefits of joining the coalition. Their aim was to demonstrate how the alliance could enhance the security and stability of each realm while ensuring that their strategic interests were effectively aligned. In their efforts, Mara and Kael also had to address various concerns and reservations voiced by potential allies. Some entities were cautious, wary of the implications of joining a broader coalition and the potential impact on their own strategic positions. To address these concerns, Mara and Kael provided assurances, crafted mutually beneficial agreements, and offered strategic concessions where necessary, all while maintaining a clear focus on their overarching goal of forming a united front. The complexity of these negotiations was heightened by the need for discretion. Many of the discussions were conducted in secrecy to avoid alerting adversaries or causing unnecessary unrest within their own realms. This covert approach allowed Mara and Kael to explore alliances and secure commitments without compromising their strategic positioning or sparking premature reactions from rival factions. Despite the challenges, Mara and Kael's persistent efforts began to yield results. They successfully secured commitments from several key entities, each bringing valuable resources, strategic advantages, or unique capabilities to the coalition. These new alliances not only bolstered their defensive capabilities but also expanded their political influence, creating a more formidable collective force against the emerging threat. As the coalition took shape, Mara and Kael continued to refine their strategies and strengthen relationships with their new allies. They worked to integrate their efforts seamlessly, ensuring that the coalition functioned as a cohesive unit with aligned objectives and effective communication channels. This careful orchestration was crucial in preparing for the challenges ahead and ensuring that the expanded alliance was capable of addressing the threat and securing the stability of their realms. The first significant alliance that Mara and Kael secured was with the Kingdom of Varnies, a powerful neighboring realm renowned for its formidable military force. Varnies had traditionally preferred a stance of isolation, avoiding external conflicts and maintaining a neutral position in regional affairs. This reluctance made Varnies a challenging entity to approach, but Mara and Kael understood that forging an alliance with such a potent force could be pivotal in strengthening their broader coalition against the emerging threat. To persuade Varnies, Mara and Kael meticulously crafted their pitch, focusing on the mutual benefits that could arise from collaboration. They underscored the shared risks posed by the growing threat and demonstrated how an alliance could enhance both their security and strategic positioning. Their presentation was built on a foundation of clear, compelling arguments that emphasized the urgency of collective action and the potential advantages of joining forces. They outlined how Varnies' military prowess could complement their own efforts, creating a more robust defense against the rising menace. The negotiation process with Varnies was both intricate and high stakes. Mara and Kael engaged in several rounds of discussions, addressing concerns about the impact on Varnies' neutral stance and the implications of entering into a broader coalition. They offered detailed plans for joint military exercises and intelligence sharing, ensuring that the alliance would be mutually beneficial and aligned with Varnies' strategic interests. Their approach was characterized by a careful balance of diplomacy and persuasion, aimed at convincing Varnies of the necessity and advantages of their proposed partnership. The breakthrough came when Mara and Kael successfully negotiated a formal treaty with Varnies. The treaty was a comprehensive document that outlined the terms of their alliance, including provisions for joint military exercises, coordinated defense strategies, and the sharing of critical intelligence. This agreement not only solidified their partnership with Varnies but also set a precedent for future collaborations with other potential allies. The treaty reflected a commitment to mutual defense and a shared vision for addressing the threat that loomed over their realms. The formalization of the alliance was marked by a ceremonial signing, which took place in the Grand Hall of Varnies' royal palace. The event was attended by key figures from both realms, symbolizing the strength and significance of the new partnership. Mara and Kael used the occasion to publicly affirm their commitment to the alliance and to outline the strategic goals they hoped to achieve together. The ceremony reinforced the seriousness of their intentions and the strategic importance of their collaboration. Following the signing of the treaty, Mara and Kael began the process of integrating their efforts with Varnies. This involved detailed planning and coordination to ensure that the joint military exercises and intelligence sharing were effectively implemented. They worked closely with Varnies' military leaders to develop coordinated defense strategies and to establish communication channels for ongoing collaboration. This phase was crucial in ensuring that the alliance functioned smoothly and that the combined resources of the coalition were utilized effectively. The alliance with Varnies represented a significant milestone in Mara and Kael's efforts to build a robust coalition. It not only bolstered their defensive capabilities but also set the stage for further alliances with other realms. The successful negotiation and formalization of the treaty demonstrated their diplomatic acumen and their ability to navigate complex political landscapes. With Varnies as a key ally, Mara and Kael were better positioned to address the emerging threat and to safeguard the stability of their realms. In addition to forging an alliance with the Kingdom of Varnies, Mara and Kael strategically expanded their network by reaching out to influential trade guilds and merchant coalitions. These groups wielded considerable economic power and influence, thanks to their extensive networks and substantial resources. recognizing the critical role that economic stability and logistical support could play in their efforts to counter the growing threat. Mara and Kale sought to engage these powerful entities to bolster their coalition. The initial approach involved detailed negotiations with leaders of various trade guilds and merchant groups, who were approached with carefully crafted proposals that highlighted mutual benefits. Mara and Kale emphasized how their partnership could enhance market access, provide greater security for trade routes, and stimulate economic growth. By presenting a compelling case that aligned with the guild's interests, they aimed to secure support that would be crucial for both their immediate and long-term strategies. The negotiations were intricate, requiring Mara and Kale to navigate a web of economic interests and concerns. Each trade guild had its own set of priorities, ranging from market expansion and resource acquisition to logistical challenges and security issues. Mara and Kale tailored their proposals to address these diverse needs, offering incentives such as exclusive trade agreements, improved security measures for transport routes, and assurances of stable market conditions. This approach was designed to build trust and demonstrate the tangible benefits of their collaboration. The successful engagement of these trade guilds resulted in a formalized partnership that provided significant logistical support and financial backing. The guilds agreed to contribute resources such as transport fleets, storage facilities, and funds to support the coalition's efforts. This support was invaluable, not only for enhancing their military capabilities but also for ensuring the smooth operation of their economic infrastructure. The trade guilds' involvement provided a dual advantage. It strengthened their military position while reinforcing their economic resilience. The partnership with the trade guilds was marked by a series of agreements and joint ventures that were formalized through contracts and memoranda of understanding. These documents outlined the specific contributions of each party, including the provision of logistics support, funding for joint operations, and the establishment of secure trade routes. The agreements also included provisions for regular communication and coordination to ensure that the support provided was effectively utilized and aligned with the coalition's strategic goals. The integration of the trade guilds' resources into their broader strategy required careful planning and coordination. Mara and Kale worked closely with guild leaders to implement the logistical support and ensure that the resources were deployed effectively. This involved establishing new supply chains, coordinating transportation and storage, and monitoring the impact of the support on their military and economic operations. The collaboration helped to streamline their efforts and enhance their overall efficiency. The partnership with the trade guilds and merchant coalitions was a significant achievement that underscored the multifaceted approach taken by Mara and Kale to address the emerging threat. By leveraging the economic power and logistical capabilities of these influential groups, they not only strengthened their coalition's military and strategic position but also reinforced their economic foundation. This alliance demonstrated their ability to forge diverse partnerships and build a comprehensive strategy that addressed both security and economic resilience. The formation of new alliances brought significant challenges for Mara and Kale. The process of securing these partnerships required navigating a complex web of political landscapes and addressing the diverse concerns of potential allies. Each negotiation was fraught with difficulties, as Mara and Kale had to balance their strategic objectives with the unique needs and expectations of each ally. The discussions were often prolonged and intricate, demanding a deep understanding of both political dynamics and personal motivations. Building trust with new partners was a particularly arduous task. Mara and Kale recognized that establishing credibility and fostering relationships was essential for successful negotiations. They worked tirelessly to demonstrate their commitment to mutual benefit and shared goals, understanding that trust needed to be earned through consistent and transparent communication. Each interaction was carefully managed to ensure that their intentions were clear and that their potential allies felt secure in the partnership. Crafting agreements that addressed the needs and concerns of all parties involved was a meticulous process. Every detail of the agreements had to be scrutinized to ensure that they provided genuine value and were mutually beneficial. This involved drafting and redrafting terms, addressing potential points of contention, and negotiating compromises that satisfied the diverse interests of their new allies. The complexity of these negotiations tested Mara and Kale's diplomatic skills and required a high degree of patience and perseverance. Despite the challenges, the process of forming these alliances ultimately proved successful. Mara and Kale's efforts resulted in a robust network of allies who were united by a common cause. The relationships they built were founded on a foundation of trust and mutual respect, which was critical for ensuring the effectiveness of their coalition. The successful formation of these alliances marked a significant achievement in their broader strategy to address the emerging threat. The intricate nature of the negotiations also provided valuable insights into the political and strategic landscape of their region. Mara and Kale gained a deeper understanding of the motivations and priorities of their new allies, which helped them navigate future interactions with greater ease. This enhanced awareness of the political environment enabled them to tailor their strategies more effectively and to anticipate potential challenges in their ongoing efforts to maintain stability and security. Throughout the process, Mara and Kale demonstrated remarkable diplomatic acumen and resilience. Their ability to handle the complexities of the negotiations, address the concerns of their allies, and build a cohesive network underscored their leadership qualities. The success of these alliances not only strengthened their position, but also highlighted their capacity to lead through challenging circumstances and to forge partnerships that were crucial for their shared objectives. In the end, the formation of these new alliances was a testament to Mara and Kale's commitment to their cause and their skill in navigating the complexities of diplomacy. The network of allies they built provided critical support for their efforts to counter the growing threat and secure their realms. The process, though challenging, ultimately reinforced their strategic position and set the stage for continued collaboration and mutual support in the face of future challenges. As the new alliances began to solidify, Mara and Kale recognized the need for a coordinated approach to maximize their collective strength. They organized a series of joint strategy sessions with their newly acquired partners, aiming to integrate their diverse resources and capabilities into a unified plan of action. These meetings were designed to bring together military leaders, intelligence officers, and logistical experts from each ally to ensure a cohesive and comprehensive strategy. The joint sessions focused on aligning military strategies across the coalition. Mara and Kale led discussions on how to effectively combine their forces, synchronize their tactics, and optimize their defensive and offensive operations. This required detailed planning and coordination to ensure that each ally's military strengths were leveraged effectively, and that their combined forces could respond to threats with precision and efficiency. The goal was to create a unified front that could effectively address any emerging challenges. In addition to military alignment, the strategy sessions also emphasized the importance of coordinating intelligence operations. With the coalition's expanded network, the sharing of information became crucial for anticipating and countering potential threats. Mara and Kale facilitated the establishment of protocols for intelligence gathering, analysis, and dissemination, ensuring that all allies were kept informed and could contribute valuable insights. This collaborative intelligence effort aimed to enhance their collective situational awareness and strategic decision-making. The establishment of emergency response protocols was another key focus of the joint sessions. Given the potential for unforeseen crises, Mara and Kale worked with their allies to develop comprehensive plans for managing emergencies. These protocols included procedures for rapid deployment of resources, communication strategies, and coordination between various entities. The goal was to ensure that the coalition could respond swiftly and effectively to any threats or disruptions, minimizing the impact on their collective security and stability. The collaborative effort demonstrated the strength of Mara and Kale's leadership and the effectiveness of their diplomatic endeavors. By bringing together a diverse group of allies and integrating their resources and strategies, they were able to create a unified approach to the growing threat. The success of these strategy sessions underscored their ability to forge meaningful partnerships and to lead a coalition through complex and challenging situations. Throughout the process, Mara and Kale remained deeply involved in the planning and coordination, ensuring that the interests and concerns of all allies were addressed. Their hands-on approach and commitment to collaboration were instrumental in achieving a cohesive and effective strategy. The joint sessions not only strengthened their alliances but also built a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect among the coalition members. As the joint strategy sessions concluded, Mara and Kale felt a renewed sense of confidence in their ability to address the emerging threat. The integration of their allies' resources, strategies, and expertise provided a solid foundation for their collective efforts. The collaborative approach they had fostered would be crucial in navigating the challenges ahead and in ensuring the continued stability and security of their realms. With their strategic alliances firmly established, Mara and Kale experienced a surge of renewed hope and determination. The successful formation of these new partnerships not only broadened their base of support, but also significantly bolstered their capacity to confront the escalating threat facing their realms. The coalition's expanded resources and unified strength marked a crucial turning point in their journey, underscoring their ability to adapt to evolving challenges and leverage collective power effectively. The process of forging these alliances had been arduous, requiring meticulous planning and diplomatic finesse. Yet, the fruits of their labor were evident in the enhanced support and capabilities now at their disposal. Mara and Kale recognized that this chapter was pivotal, demonstrating their resilience and strategic acumen. It showcased their ability to navigate complex political landscapes and build a network of allies committed to a shared vision of stability and security. As they prepared to implement their joint strategies, Mara and Kale reflected on the profound impact of their collaborative efforts. The newly formed coalition offered not just a strategic advantage, but also a powerful reminder of the value of unity in times of crisis. The combined strength of their allies provided a solid foundation for addressing the imminent threat, reinforcing their belief in the power of working together toward a common goal. The upcoming phase would see the coalition's resources and strategies put to the test as they moved from planning to action. Mara and Kale were acutely aware of the challenges ahead, but their confidence was buoyed by the strength of their alliances. They knew that the success of their efforts would depend on their ability to effectively coordinate with their partners and maintain the cohesion of their newly formed coalition. The chapter of forging new alliances had not only enhanced their strategic position but also deepened their understanding of the dynamics of collaboration. Mara and Kale's leadership was now more attuned to the intricacies of working with diverse partners, and they were prepared to navigate the complexities of implementing their joint strategies. The lessons learned during this process would prove invaluable as they faced the evolving threats and challenges. In their preparations, Mara and Kale were reminded of the inherent power of collaboration. The alliances they had built were a testament to the strength that could be achieved through mutual support and shared purpose. As they moved forward, they remained committed to fostering these relationships and ensuring that their coalition operated as a cohesive and effective unit. With the foundation laid and the path forward clear, Mara and Kale approached the next phase of their mission with a sense of purpose and optimism. The expanded coalition provided them with the tools and support needed to confront the growing threat and secure the future of their realms. The power of standing together, as they had demonstrated through their alliance-building efforts, would be crucial in overcoming the challenges that lay ahead. Chapter 66: A Crisis of Faith. The early days of their expanded coalition were marked by a palpable surge of hope and renewed energy for Mara and Kale. The newly forged alliances brought a sense of optimism and a promising outlook for addressing the growing threat that loomed over their realms. The unity and support from their diverse partners fueled their confidence, creating a strong foundation for tackling the challenges ahead. Yet, beneath this veneer of progress, a more insidious issue began to emerge. As the initial excitement of their successful alliance began to settle, the complexity of the situation revealed itself in unexpected ways. The growing threat, far from dissipating, began to test their resolve with an intensity they had not fully anticipated. The coordinated efforts of their adversaries seemed to adapt and evolve, presenting new and unforeseen obstacles that challenged their strategic plans and resources. Amid this mounting pressure, a crisis of faith began to take root. This was not just a matter of tactical setbacks or logistical difficulties. It was a deeper, more existential challenge. Doubts began to surface about the effectiveness of their coalition and the sustainability of their mission. The unwavering belief that had once fueled their efforts was now being questioned, casting shadows over their commitment and resolve. The crisis of faith was further compounded by the weight of their responsibilities. The pressure to deliver on their promises and secure their realm's safety became increasingly burdensome. Every decision carried significant consequences, and the stakes were higher than ever. The uncertainty of whether their combined efforts would be sufficient to overcome the threat began to erode their confidence. The internal turmoil was mirrored by external challenges. As the coalition's operations progressed, not all allies were equally committed or responsive. Discrepancies in dedication and varying levels of enthusiasm among coalition partners began to surface, further straining the unity that had been so carefully cultivated. Mara and Kale had to navigate these tensions while addressing the underlying fears and doubts that were affecting their leadership. In response to these emerging challenges, Mara and Kale redoubled their efforts to reaffirm their commitment to the cause. They engaged in deep, introspective discussions and sought counsel from trusted advisors and allies. They needed to reconnect with their original motivations and renew their shared vision for the future. This process of reflection was essential for addressing the crisis of faith and revitalizing their determination. As they worked through their doubts, Mara and Kale also focused on transparent communication with their allies. They acknowledged the difficulties and uncertainties openly, fostering an environment where concerns could be addressed constructively. This approach helped to rebuild trust and reinforce the coalition's unity, allowing them to collectively confront the challenges that lay ahead. Despite the ongoing crisis of faith, Mara and Kale's commitment to their mission remained steadfast. They understood that the path to success was fraught with difficulties and that overcoming these obstacles required resilience and adaptability. Their ability to confront their doubts head-on and reinvigorate their resolve was a testament to their strength as leaders and their dedication to their shared cause. In the end, the crisis of faith, while challenging, served as a profound test of their leadership and partnership. It revealed the depth of their commitment and their capacity to navigate the complexities of their mission. By confronting these issues directly and working to rebuild their confidence and unity, Mara and Kale were better equipped to face the ongoing threat and secure a stable future for their realms. The initial stages of their expanded coalition were marred by a series of unexpected setbacks. The newly formed alliances, which had been the source of great optimism and hope, were quickly beset by a host of internal issues. The excitement and unity that had characterized their early efforts began to unravel as reports of difficulties surfaced. These issues ranged from failed operations to logistical challenges, each contributing to a growing sense of frustration among their allies. Miscommunications became a recurring problem, straining the relationships within the coalition. What had once seemed like a well-oiled machine now appeared disjointed and ineffective. Each misstep and failed operation further eroded the confidence that had been so carefully nurtured. The once promising collaboration now faced the harsh reality of practical difficulties, revealing cracks in the foundation of their unity. Inconsistent support from some coalition members added to the strain. Allies who had initially pledged unwavering commitment now wavered in their dedication. The shifting levels of support created uncertainty and undermined the coalition's overall effectiveness. As the coalition struggled to maintain coherence, the initial excitement of their alliance gave way to skepticism and doubt. Mara and Kale found themselves in an increasingly difficult position. They were not only contending with the practical challenges of their mission but also facing mounting criticism from both their allies and their own people. The weight of this scrutiny was compounded by the visibility of their leadership roles, making every decision and misstep a focal point of criticism. The criticism directed at them was multifaceted. Allies questioned their ability to manage the coalition effectively, while their own subjects expressed discontent with the perceived lack of progress and stability. The weight of these criticisms began to take a toll on their morale, testing their resolve and complicating their efforts to address the growing threat. In response to the mounting pressure, Mara and Kale had to reassess their strategies and approaches. They convened urgent meetings with their closest advisors to address the specific issues that were undermining their coalition's effectiveness. These discussions were intense, focusing on identifying the root causes of the setbacks and developing solutions to mitigate the problems. The process of addressing these issues required a delicate balance of diplomacy and pragmatism. Mara and Kale worked tirelessly to restore trust and confidence among their allies. They implemented new protocols to improve communication and coordination, and they actively sought to address the concerns of their coalition partners. This involved difficult negotiations and, at times, concessions to ensure that the coalition could function effectively. Despite their best efforts, the situation remained challenging. The coalition's setbacks served as a stark reminder of the complexities involved in maintaining unity and achieving their goals. Mara and Kale had to remain resilient in the face of adversity, continually adapting their strategies to address the evolving landscape of their mission. Their leadership was being tested in ways they had not anticipated, forcing them to confront both practical and emotional challenges. Through these trials, Mara and Kale's commitment to their cause was unwavering. They understood that the road to success was fraught with difficulties and that overcoming these setbacks required persistence and adaptability. The experience, though arduous, provided valuable lessons in leadership and coalition management, reinforcing their resolve to navigate the complexities of their mission and secure a stable future for their realms. The strain of this situation began to take a profound toll on both Mara and Kale. The challenges they faced seemed to intensify with each passing day, and the initial optimism of their grand vision gave way to a more somber reality. They had always been driven by a shared vision and an unwavering belief in the mission they had embarked upon. Their dedication had been their guiding light, but as the problems mounted, they found themselves grappling with doubt and uncertainty. The mounting difficulties began to chip away at their confidence. They questioned whether their efforts to unite such a diverse array of factions had been overly ambitious. The once clear path to unity now appeared fraught with insurmountable obstacles. Mara and Kale wondered if their dreams of forging a unified front were simply too lofty, if their vision of a cohesive alliance was destined to remain unfulfilled. These doubts were not easily dismissed. The weight of their decisions and the implications of their actions weighed heavily on their minds. They reflected on the various challenges they had encountered, each one serving as a stark reminder of the risks involved in their ambitious undertaking. The prospect of their dreams unraveling before their eyes was a distressing thought that threatened to erode their resolve. In the midst of their self-reflection, Mara and Kale found themselves questioning their leadership and their strategic choices. Had they overlooked crucial details in their planning? Were there fundamental flaws in their approach that had led to the current state of disarray? The burden of these questions was compounded by the knowledge that their leadership was being scrutinized and challenged by both their allies and their people. The internal conflict they experienced was mirrored by the external pressure they faced. The strain of managing a coalition fraught with issues and the responsibility of addressing mounting criticism created a perfect storm of stress and doubt. Mara and Kale were forced to confront the possibility that their efforts, despite their best intentions, might not yield the results they had hoped for. Despite their internal struggles, they knew that showing weakness was not an option. They were acutely aware that any sign of faltering confidence could further undermine their efforts and jeopardize the fragile alliances they had worked so hard to build. As a result, they strove to maintain a united front, even as their private doubts threatened to compromise their public resolve. In their quiet moments, Mara and Kale confided in each other, sharing their fears and anxieties. Their bond, though tested, remained a crucial source of support. They leaned on each other for reassurance, finding solace in their shared commitment to the mission and to one another. This mutual support was essential as they navigated the tumultuous waters of their current situation. The challenges they faced forced Mara and Kale to reassess their strategies and their approach to leadership. They needed to find a way to address the mounting problems while preserving their vision and commitment. This period of introspection and recalibration was critical for both their personal growth and the success of their mission. Ultimately, Mara and Kale recognized that their journey was one of immense complexity and difficulty. The questions they faced, while unsettling, were a natural part of the process of leadership and innovation. As they worked through their doubts and continued to face the ongoing challenges, they were reminded that true leadership often involves confronting and overcoming such profound uncertainties. The crisis of faith that Mara and Kale faced was further compounded by deep personal struggles, each of which threatened to unravel their sense of self and their confidence in their roles as leaders. For Mara, the weight of the ongoing difficulties began to erode her self-assurance. She found herself wrestling with intense self-doubt, questioning whether she was truly equipped to lead her people and make the right decisions in such a turbulent time. The constant pressure and mounting criticism seemed to overshadow the sense of purpose that had once driven her with unwavering clarity. Mara's struggle was not just with external challenges but with an internal battle that left her feeling vulnerable and exposed. The scrutiny from allies and the discontent among her own people created a cloud of uncertainty that she found difficult to dispel. Her leadership, once characterized by confidence and decisiveness, now felt encumbered by the weight of doubt and hesitation. The emotional toll of these challenges left her questioning whether she had the strength to persevere and guide her kingdom through the crisis. Kale, too, was deeply affected by the mounting pressure. The burden of his responsibilities weighed heavily on him, amplifying his own doubts and insecurities. The immense strain of managing not only his own realm but also the complexities of the coalition left him feeling overwhelmed. The responsibility of ensuring the stability of the alliance and addressing the growing threat took a toll on his sense of efficacy. He grappled with the fear that his efforts might fall short and that the weight of failure would be his to bear. The personal struggles they faced created an emotional chasm between them, testing the strength of their once steadfast bond. As Mara and Kale each wrestled with their own crises of confidence, they found it increasingly challenging to support each other fully. Their shared vision and mutual respect were strained by their individual doubts, creating moments of tension and distance between them. The very connection that had once been a source of strength now felt vulnerable to the strains of their personal battles. Despite their efforts to remain united, the pressure of their personal crises occasionally led to misunderstandings and conflicts. The emotional toll of their struggles sometimes resulted in friction as they tried to navigate their leadership roles while managing their own internal turmoil. Their communication, once seamless and supportive, became more strained as they each dealt with their own fears and frustrations. The intensity of their situation made it difficult to offer each other the understanding and encouragement they both needed. However, amid the growing challenges, Mara and Kale found moments of introspection and mutual reflection that helped them reconnect. They made an effort to openly share their vulnerabilities and concerns with one another, recognizing that their personal struggles were intertwined with their collective mission. These conversations, though difficult, were essential in re-establishing their emotional bond and reaffirming their commitment to each other and their shared goals. Through their struggles, Mara and Kale learned valuable lessons about resilience and the importance of mutual support. They discovered that facing their individual crises together, despite the strain it placed on their relationship, was crucial for maintaining their leadership and navigating the broader challenges they faced. The process of overcoming their personal doubts and fears became a testament to their ability to grow and adapt under pressure. In confronting their crises of faith, Mara and Kale also came to understand that vulnerability and self-doubt were natural components of leadership. Their personal battles, while challenging, offered insights into their strengths and weaknesses, ultimately contributing to their growth as leaders. By addressing their struggles openly and working through their difficulties, they were able to reaffirm their commitment to their mission and each other. The journey through their personal struggles ultimately strengthened Mara and Kale's leadership and deepened their bond. As they faced their individual challenges and supported each other, they emerged with a renewed sense of purpose and resilience. The experience underscored the complexity of their roles and the necessity of facing personal doubts while striving to fulfill their collective goals. In an effort to regain their footing amidst the turmoil and self-doubt, Mara and Kale sought solace in the quiet moments they could find. They retreated to their private spaces, away from the constant pressures of their roles and the cacophony of external demands. These secluded moments became their sanctuary, a place where they could pause and reflect on the journey they had undertaken. The weight of their responsibilities and the strain of recent challenges made these moments of solitude all the more precious. During these times of reflection, Mara and Kale revisited their original vision, the one that had initially inspired their leadership and commitment. They took time to remember the ideals and values that had guided them from the beginning. In the quietude of their private spaces, they reviewed the goals they had set and the dreams that had driven them to seek unity and stability for their kingdoms. This introspection was not merely an exercise in nostalgia but a vital effort to reconnect with the core beliefs that had once ignited their passion for their mission. Mara found herself reflecting on the early days of their alliance, when hope and optimism had been abundant. She recalled the enthusiasm with which they had embarked on their journey, the promises they had made to their people, and the vision of a harmonious future they had envisioned. These reflections served as a reminder of why she had chosen this path and helped her reframe her current struggles as part of a larger, ongoing endeavor. Similarly, Kale used these moments of solitude to contemplate his own motivations and the sacrifices he had made. He thought about the challenges they had faced and the obstacles they had overcome to reach their current position. This introspection helped him see the broader picture and reminded him of the strength and resilience that had brought them this far. It was a process of re-establishing his sense of purpose and reaffirming his commitment to the cause they had championed together. As they each grappled with their own reflections, Mara and Kale found themselves drawn back to the fundamental principles that had initially united them. They rediscovered the deep sense of responsibility they felt toward their people and the shared vision that had inspired their collaboration. These realizations helped them to regain clarity and focus, reinforcing their commitment to navigate through the current challenges and continue working toward their goals. Their private reflections also provided them with a renewed sense of perspective. They began to understand that the difficulties they were facing were part of a larger journey and that their personal struggles were intertwined with their broader mission. This understanding helped them approach their leadership roles with a fresh outlook, enabling them to address the crisis with a reinvigorated sense of purpose and determination. In reconnecting with their core beliefs and values, Mara and Kale were able to reaffirm their commitment to each other and their shared vision. They found strength in their mutual understanding and realized that their personal challenges, while significant, did not diminish their ability to lead effectively. This renewed sense of connection allowed them to face their difficulties with greater confidence and resolve. Their introspective journey also served to strengthen their bond. By reflecting on their experiences and discussing their insights, Mara and Kale were able to support each other more effectively. Their shared reflections deepened their understanding of each other's struggles and reinforced their commitment to working through their issues together. This process of mutual support became a cornerstone of their renewed efforts to address the crisis. Emerging from their introspection with a clearer sense of purpose, Mara and Kale felt better equipped to tackle the ongoing challenges. Their personal reflections had not only reconnected them with their foundational beliefs but also provided them with the emotional resilience needed to continue their leadership journey. The quiet moments of solitude had proven invaluable in helping them regain their footing and reaffirm their dedication to their mission and each other. Their search for clarity prompted Mara and Kale to reevaluate their strategies and approach to the unfolding crisis. Recognizing that their previous plans might need adjustment in light of recent setbacks, they decided to seek fresh insights and advice. They understood that to effectively address the growing challenges, they needed to engage in a comprehensive review of their current methods and objectives. This introspective decision marked a critical turning point in their approach to leadership and problem solving. Mara and Kale reached out to their most trusted advisors and allies, initiating a series of candid and open discussions. These conversations were characterized by a level of transparency and vulnerability that had not been present in their previous interactions. They shared their concerns about the recent difficulties, their doubts, and the pressures they had been facing. By laying their challenges bare, they invited their advisors to offer honest feedback and suggestions without the constraints of formalities or political considerations. The feedback they received proved to be invaluable. Their advisors, who had been closely observing the situation, provided new perspectives and solutions that Mara and Kale had not previously considered. This external input helped them to see their situation from different angles and illuminated aspects of the crisis that they had initially overlooked. The diverse viewpoints enriched their understanding of the complexities involved and highlighted potential strategies that could be more effective in overcoming the current obstacles. Through these insightful conversations, Mara and Kale began to rebuild their confidence. The renewed sense of support and the constructive feedback they received allowed them to reassess their strategies with a more informed perspective. They realized that the setbacks they had encountered were not insurmountable but rather opportunities to adapt and refine their approach. This shift in mindset was crucial in regaining their sense of direction and purpose. The discussions also played a pivotal role in reaffirming their commitment to their mission. By addressing their challenges openly and seeking collaborative solutions, Mara and Kale reinforced their shared vision and dedication to their goals. The process of engaging with their advisors and allies helped to strengthen their resolve and reinforce their belief in the importance of their mission. They understood that their ability to lead effectively depended on their willingness to adapt and learn from the experiences of others. As they integrated the new strategies and insights into their plans, Mara and Kale worked to implement changes that would address both the immediate and long-term challenges. They focused on refining their approach to the coalition's coordination, improving communication channels, and enhancing their crisis management protocols. These adjustments were aimed at ensuring that their response to the threat was more cohesive and effective. The process of rebuilding confidence and reaffirming their commitment also had a positive impact on their personal dynamic. The open dialogue with their advisors and allies allowed Mara and Kale to support each other more effectively, as they shared the burden of decision-making and problem-solving. Their strengthened partnership became a crucial element in navigating the ongoing crisis and restoring stability to their realms. With renewed confidence and a clearer sense of direction, Mara and Kale prepared to re-engage with their coalition and address the remaining challenges. Their approach was now more informed and adaptable, reflecting the lessons learned from their recent experiences. They faced the future with a strengthened resolve, ready to tackle the obstacles ahead and advance their mission with a renewed sense of purpose. Their search for clarity, facilitated by honest and open discussions, ultimately reinforced their leadership and commitment. By embracing new perspectives and integrating constructive feedback, Mara and Kale were able to turn a period of doubt into an opportunity for growth and renewal. This experience underscored the importance of adaptability, collaboration, and continuous learning in their journey as leaders. As they navigated the crisis of faith, Mara and Kale emerged with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The period of introspection and open dialogue had been transformative, allowing them to confront their doubts and reassess their strategies. They came to understand that their journey, while fraught with obstacles, was a testament to their resilience and adaptability. The challenges they faced were not insurmountable barriers but rather opportunities to grow and strengthen their resolve. Their experience during the crisis had deepened their understanding of their mission and the significance of their leadership. Mara and Kale recognized that their strength lay not in avoiding difficulties but in their ability to confront and overcome them. The trials they had endured had tested their commitment, but they emerged more united and focused than ever before. This newfound clarity about their purpose reinforced their dedication to their cause and the goals they sought to achieve. The renewed sense of unity between Mara and Kale was palpable. The trials they had faced together had not driven them apart, but had instead strengthened their bond. Their shared experiences and the lessons learned had created a deeper connection, fortifying their partnership and enhancing their ability to lead effectively. They were now more attuned to each other's strengths and weaknesses, which made their collaboration even more impactful. With this reinforced unity and clarity, Mara and Kale were prepared to face the continued trials ahead. They had developed a more nuanced understanding of their coalition's needs and had refined their strategies to address the challenges they faced. Their approach was now more informed and adaptable, reflecting the insights gained from their recent experiences. They were ready to implement these changes and tackle the obstacles that remained with renewed vigor. Their commitment to their mission was unwavering. Mara and Kale approached their leadership roles with a steadfast dedication to their goals. They understood that the path forward would not be easy, but their determination to see their mission through remained strong. They were prepared to face any further difficulties with the same resolve and commitment that had guided them through their recent crisis. As they moved forward, Mara and Kale continued to draw strength from their experiences. The crisis had tested their leadership, but it had also highlighted their ability to persevere and adapt. They were more confident in their ability to navigate complex challenges and more aware of the importance of maintaining a united front. Their journey had reinforced their belief in the value of their mission and the impact of their leadership. Their preparation for the continued trials was characterized by a strategic and thoughtful approach. Mara and Kale worked closely with their advisors and allies to ensure that their plans were comprehensive and effective. They were mindful of the lessons learned from their recent experiences and were committed to applying these insights to their future efforts. This proactive approach was key to their ongoing success. In summary, the crisis of faith had been a pivotal moment in Mara and Kale's journey. It had challenged their beliefs and tested their resolve, but it had also reinforced their commitment and unity. As they prepared to face the ongoing trials ahead, they did so with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Their experience had deepened their understanding of their mission and strengthened their leadership, setting the stage for continued success in their endeavors.